Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that you are walking along a tranquil stream. The water flows effortlessly, weaving its way around stones, fallen branches, and uneven ground. It does not stop to argue with the obstacles nor resent their existence. It simply flows, unbothered, embracing the journey as it comes. This is the essence of what it means to act as if nothing bothers you. It is not an act of denial or suppression, but of transcendence. It is the recognition that the world, with all its challenges, will keep moving, and so can we. You see, much of what disturbs us comes not from the events themselves, but from the weight we give them. A missed opportunity, a harsh word, or an unexpected turn of events, they feel monumental only because we grip them so tightly. But when you let go, when you act as if the storm cannot shake you, you find an inner calm that no external force can disturb. This is not to say you must live without care or connection. Quite the opposite it is to care so deeply for your peace of mind that you refuse to trade it for momentary frustrations. It is to connect with the world in a way that acknowledges its impermanence, knowing that the tides will rise and fall regardless of how tightly you cling to the shore. To act as if nothing bothers you is to walk through life like the stream, flexible, patient, and always moving forward. When the rock appears, you simply flow around it. When the branch falls, you welcome it as part of the path. In this way, you do not merely endure life, you embrace it, unbothered, untethered, and profoundly free. Life as we experience it is not what it seems to be. Much like the stage of a grand theater, it presents a compelling performance full of drama, laughter, and sorrow. But what if we took a step back and recognized the play for what it is, a tapestry of illusions woven together by perception, expectation, and belief? To act as if nothing bothers you is to master the art of this illusion. It is not about dishonesty or escapism, but about embracing the deeper truth that the version of reality we project outward is, in many ways, an artistic creation. The self we present to the world is at its core a role we choose to play. We construct this identity based on societal expectations, personal experiences, and inner narratives. We say, "This is who I am," and we cling to this idea with conviction. Yet, when we examine closely, we see that this self is fluid. In different situations, we become different versions of ourselves, adaptable, multifaceted, and constantly shifting. Is the confident speaker the same as the uncertain thinker? Is the loving parent the same as the frustrated worker? The truth is that we wear many masks, each serving a purpose. Acting as if nothing bothers you is simply the deliberate choice of a mask that brings peace and resilience. This is not a denial of authenticity, but an acknowledgement of its flexibility. After all, what is authenticity but the sum of what we choose to express in any given moment? To act unaffected is to recognize that you are both the actor and the playwright. You hold the pen that writes your response to life's provocations. When chaos strikes, you can meet it with panic or poise. The choice is yours. The art lies in realizing that both reactions are equally possible, but one serves you far better than the other. And consider for a moment the nature of what bothers us. A slight at work, an argument with a loved one, or even a long queue at the grocery store, all these disturbances are fleeting. Yet we allow them to infiltrate our minds, turning minor inconveniences into significant sources of distress. Why? Because we believe in their power over us. We internalize the discomfort, giving it a weight it does not inherently possess. To act unbothered is to see through this illusion. It is to recognize that these moments are like waves. They rise, crest, and inevitably fall. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you are not pretending that challenges do not exist. You are simply choosing not to be defined by them. This choice is a profound act of liberation. It frees you from the chains of overreaction, allowing you to meet life's difficulties with grace. Imagine walking through a storm not as someone battling against the wind, but as someone moving with it, untouched by its fury. This is the art of illusion, not resistance, but transcendence. At its heart, this practice is deeply connected to the idea of presence. When you act unbothered, you remain anchored in the present moment. You do not carry the baggage of past grievances or anticipate future problems. Instead, you respond to what is here and now. This presence allows you to see life's illusions for what they are: temporary, fleeting, and often exaggerated by the mind. And so the art of acting unbothered becomes a kind of dance. It is not a stiff denial of emotion, but a fluid movement with it. You feel the sting of life's challenges, but you do not let them define you. You acknowledge the moment's discomfort without succumbing to it. Like an actor on stage, you embody your role with conviction, knowing that the performance is temporary and that the real you lies beyond the stage. This is the paradox of acting as if nothing bothers you. In doing so, you do not deny reality but engage with it more fully. You step into life with clarity and courage, embracing its illusions while remaining rooted in the deeper truth that you are, ultimately, the one shaping your experience. Life will always present its challenges, but the art of illusion reminds us that we are never powerless in how we choose to meet them. The world we see, the experiences we have, and the emotions we feel all are filtered through the lens of perception. What happens to us is not as important as how we interpret it. This simple truth has profound implications, for it places the power of our reality squarely in our hands. To act as if nothing bothers you is to harness this power, reshaping the way you perceive life's inevitable challenges. It is not about ignoring the struggles, but about choosing to see them through a lens that empowers rather than defeats. Every moment of our lives is colored by perception. Two people can face the same event and yet walk away with entirely different experiences. Take, for example, a rainy day. To one person, it might feel like an inconvenience, a disruption to plans, a cause for frustration. To another, it might be a welcome reprieve, a moment to pause, reflect, or simply enjoy the rhythmic sound of raindrops. The rain is the same, what changes is the lens through which it is viewed. This illustrates that perception, not circumstance, determines how we feel and respond. When we act as if nothing bothers us, we are not denying reality. We are, instead, reframing it. A challenge at work, a disagreement with a loved one, or even a personal failure, all of these can be seen as burdens or as opportunities for growth. The shift in perception does not change the event itself, but it transforms how we carry its weight. It allows us to see setbacks not as threats, but as invitations to rise. This reframing is not mere positivity for its own sake. It is a deeply intentional practice of choosing what to focus on and how to interpret the world. Life, by its nature, is unpredictable. Challenges will come, and so will triumphs. Acting unbothered is not about being indifferent to these fluctuations, but about meeting them with a steady mind. It is the practice of seeing life's storms as transient and understanding that how we weather them defines the experience more than the storms themselves. Perception also plays a critical role in shaping how others respond to us. When you act unbothered, you project an air of calm and confidence. This energy is contagious. People are drawn to those who seem unshaken by life's difficulties because they embody a sense of control and clarity that many seek. In this way, how you perceive and present a situation can influence not only your reality, but also the realities of those around you. The act of choosing a steady perception is like steering a ship through turbulent waters. You cannot control the waves, but you can adjust your sails. You can choose to focus on the horizon instead of the chaos around you. This act of perception becomes your anchor, keeping you grounded no matter how fierce the storm. Often what bothers us most is not the event itself, but the narrative we create around it. We take a single moment and magnify it, letting it spiral into a story of failure, injustice, or despair. But if we pause and challenge this narrative, we find that it is often far removed from the truth. Acting unbothered is the deliberate choice to step back from the story, to see events as they are rather than as our emotions would have us believe. This perspective brings a certain lightness to life. When we recognize that perception shapes experience, we gain the freedom to rewrite our responses. We no longer need to carry the weight of every annoyance or disappointment. Instead, we can let them pass like clouds in the sky, noticing them but not holding onto them. This lightness is not a denial of life's seriousness, but a refusal to let its challenges define us. Ultimately, the power of perception lies in its ability to create a reality that serves us. It reminds us that while we may not control every circumstance, we always control how we interpret it. Acting as if nothing bothers you is not about being unaffected by life, but about choosing to see life in a way that allows you to remain strong, present, and free. Through perception, we reclaim our power and learn to navigate the world with grace and resilience. Detachment is often misunderstood. It is not about becoming cold, indifferent, or unfeeling, nor is it a rejection of life's experiences and connections. Instead, mastering detachment is about learning how to let go of the grip we have on things that do not serve us. It is the art of living fully engaged with life while recognizing that nothing in it is permanent, not our possessions, our emotions, or even our identities. To act as if nothing bothers you is, in essence, to embody the wisdom of detachment. It is to release the need for control, the clinging to outcomes, and the weight of unnecessary suffering. What often bothers us most in life are our attachments. We attach ourselves to outcomes, to people, to ideas of how things should be. When reality deviates from these expectations, we feel pain, frustration, or disappointment. A job opportunity slips away, a relationship falters, or a cherished plan falls apart, and we find ourselves caught in a web of resistance and sorrow. Detachment does not mean we stop caring about these things, rather, it means we stop allowing their outcomes to determine our inner peace. To master detachment is to understand that everything in life is transient. The moments of joy and sorrow, the successes and failures, the people who come and go, all are part of a constantly shifting landscape. When we hold too tightly to any one piece of this landscape, we set ourselves up for suffering because change is inevitable. Detachment invites us to embrace the flow of life, to allow things to come and go without losing our center. This practice does not mean becoming passive or disengaged. In fact, detachment can deepen our engagement with life. When we are no longer consumed by the fear of loss or the desire for control, we can be more present and authentic. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it tightly, you harm it, but if you hold it gently, it stays willingly. The same is true for life's experiences. Detachment allows us to hold them lightly, appreciating them fully without suffocating them with our expectations. Acting as if nothing bothers you is a reflection of this gentle hold. It does not mean you are indifferent to life's challenges or joys. It means you have learned to navigate them without becoming entangled. When a difficulty arises, you can address it with clarity because your sense of self is not tied to its resolution. When a moment of happiness arrives, you can savor it without fearing its end. This perspective frees us from the tyranny of over-identification. Too often we tie our identities to external things, our careers, relationships, possessions, or even our emotions. When these things shift or disappear, as they inevitably do, we feel unmoored. Detachment reminds us that our true essence is not defined by these external factors. It encourages us to root ourselves in something deeper and unchanging, the quiet awareness that observes all of life's fluctuations without being swept away by them. Mastering detachment also transforms how we relate to others. It allows us to love more freely and deeply because we are not clinging to the illusion that we can possess or control another person. True detachment in relationships means honoring each person's individuality and journey, offering love without conditions or demands. This does not weaken the bond, but strengthens it, as it is built on mutual respect and freedom rather than fear or dependence. Of course, detachment is not an easy path. It requires ongoing practice and self-awareness. It asks us to confront the fears and insecurities that drive our attachments. But with time, it becomes a source of immense strength and peace. It is the recognition that while we cannot control life, we can control how we meet it. To master detachment is to walk through life with open hands and an open heart. It is to embrace everything without holding on too tightly, knowing that the beauty of life lies in its impermanence. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you embody this wisdom, allowing yourself to move through the world with grace, resilience, and an unshakable inner calm. In letting go, you find the freedom to truly live. Serenity is not a destination, but a state of being, a quiet center that exists within each of us, waiting to be uncovered. It is the calm amidst the chaos, the stillness within the storm. To act as if nothing bothers you is not to deny the existence of life's challenges, but to embrace the serenity that reflects your truest nature. This serenity, like a mirror, not only transforms your inner world, but also influences the world around you. So, when you embody calm, you project it outward, shaping how others respond and interact with you. The mirror of serenity is both a personal refuge and a gift to those you encounter. Life is full of turbulence, a constant ebb and flow of circumstances that can unsettle even the strongest among us. Yet the mirror of serenity reminds us that external chaos need not create internal turmoil. This is a profound truth. Your peace of mind does not depend on the world being peaceful. It depends on your ability to anchor yourself in the stillness that lies beneath the surface of any storm. Acting unbothered is not about ignoring the noise around you, but about cultivating a quiet resilience that reflects calm even in the face of upheaval. This inner calm has a ripple effect. When you approach life with serenity, you set a tone for your interactions. Imagine entering a tense room with a relaxed and composed demeanor. Your presence alone can shift the energy, encouraging others to mirror your state of being. This is not magic, but the natural human tendency to respond to the emotional cues of those around us. Serenity, like a mirror, invites others to find their own sense of calm. However, this reflection goes beyond interpersonal dynamics. It extends to how you experience life itself. The mirror of serenity allows you to see the world more clearly without the distortion of fear, anger, or anxiety. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you are not suppressing your emotions but acknowledging them without letting them take control. This clarity helps you make better decisions, navigate challenges with wisdom, and respond to situations with grace rather than reactivity. Serenity also teaches us the power of non-resistance. When we resist life's difficulties, we often amplify them. We push against reality, hoping to change what is unchangeable, and in doing so, we create more tension within ourselves. The mirror of serenity reflects a different approach. It shows us that acceptance is not defeat but strength. By accepting life as it is, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open the door to solutions and insights that resistance often obscures. Cultivating this state requires practice. Serenity is not something we stumble upon, it is something we nurture. It begins with awareness, paying attention to the moments when we are pulled away from our center by worry, frustration, or fear. In those moments, we can pause, take a deep breath, and remind ourselves that we have the power to choose our response. Over time, this practice becomes a habit, and the mirror of serenity becomes a more natural reflection of who we are. One of the most beautiful aspects of serenity is its accessibility. It does not require special circumstances or conditions. You can find it in the midst of a busy day, a difficult conversation, or even a personal crisis. It is always within reach because it is part of your essence. Acting as if nothing bothers you is a way of tapping into this essence, of reminding yourself that you are more than the sum of your worries and fears. The mirror of serenity also serves as a reminder of the impermanence of life's challenges. Just as a lake returns to stillness after being disturbed, so too does your mind and heart have the capacity to return to peace after moments of turmoil. This understanding allows you to face difficulties with the confidence that they too shall pass. In living as the mirror of serenity, you not only transform your own experience but also become a beacon for others. Your calmness inspires calmness in those around you, creating a ripple effect that can influence families, communities, and even the broader world. It is a simple yet profound way to make a difference by embodying the peace you wish to see in the world. Serenity is not about escaping life's storms, but about finding the stillness within yourself that allows you to navigate them with clarity and grace. When you act as if nothing bothers you, you reflect this stillness, becoming a mirror of calm in a world that often feels restless. In doing so, you honor both yourself and those you touch with your presence. Control is a concept we cling to tightly, believing it provides us with security, stability, and order. We craft plans, set expectations, and make decisions under the illusion that we can shape every outcome. But life, in its unpredictable nature, often defies our best laid efforts. The unexpected arrives, a missed opportunity, an unforeseen obstacle, or a sudden change, and we are left scrambling, wondering why things did not go as intended. The truth is that much of what we think we control is beyond our grasp. To act as if nothing bothers you is to release the illusion of control and embrace life as it unfolds, with all its uncertainty and surprise. At the heart of the illusion of control is the idea that we can dictate the course of events. This belief offers comfort because it suggests that we are the architects of our destiny. But control is a fragile illusion, easily shattered by the complexities of the world. Consider the weather. No amount of planning or preparation can stop a storm from arriving. Similarly, we cannot control other people's actions, the passage of time, or the myriad variables that influence our lives. What we can control, however, is how we respond to these forces. To act unbothered in the face of life's unpredictability is not to deny its challenges, but to accept that control was never ours to begin with. Acceptance is a powerful antidote to the stress and frustration that arise when things do not go as planned. By letting go of the need to control, we free ourselves from the mental anguish of resisting reality. This does not mean passivity or resignation. It means shifting our focus from controlling outcomes to managing our inner state. When you release the illusion of control, you discover a deeper truth. The flow of life is far greater and more intricate than any plan you could design. The unexpected often brings lessons, opportunities, and experiences that rigid control would have denied. Imagine trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Life operates in much the same way. By loosening your grip, you allow it to flow naturally, revealing its hidden beauty. Letting go of control also creates space for trust. Trust in yourself, in others, and in the process of life. This trust does not mean everything will work out perfectly. Rather, it is the belief that you have the resilience to face whatever comes your way. Trust replaces the need for constant vigilance and worry with a sense of calm and confidence. Acting as if nothing bothers you becomes a reflection of this trust, a quiet assurance that you are capable, no matter the circumstances. The illusion of control often leads to overthinking and anxiety. We play out scenarios in our minds, trying to anticipate every possible outcome. But this mental exercise rarely provides the comfort we seek. Instead, it traps us in a cycle of worry and dissatisfaction. By releasing control, we step out of this cycle and into the present moment. Here we find clarity and peace, unclouded by the fear of what might happen. This shift in perspective also deepens our relationships. When we try to control others, whether through expectations, criticism, or persuasion, we create tension and distance. But when we let go, we allow people to be themselves, fostering connection and mutual respect. Acting unbothered in relationships signals trust and understanding, inviting harmony instead of conflict. Releasing control requires humility. It is an acknowledgement that we are part of a vast, interconnected system far beyond our comprehension. This humility is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It allows us to move through life with grace, knowing that we cannot predict every turn, but can navigate each with courage and adaptability. Ironically, in surrendering control, we gain a greater sense of freedom. We are no longer bound by the need to manipulate or manage every detail. Instead, we become open to life's spontaneity and serendipity. Acting as if nothing bothers you reflects this freedom. It is a way of saying, I am at peace with what is, and I trust myself to handle what comes. The illusion of control is persistent because it feeds our ego's desire for dominance and certainty. But true peace lies in understanding that control is neither necessary nor possible. Life will always be unpredictable, and that is where its richness lies. By releasing the illusion, you step into a reality that is both uncertain and deeply liberating. You find strength not in holding on, but in letting go, and in doing so, you act as if nothing bothers you, not because you are unaffected, but because you are free. In a world that constantly pushes us to achieve, to excel, and to do more, it's easy to become consumed by the pressure to perform. Deadlines, expectations, and comparisons create a relentless current that pulls us away from the present moment. And the focus shifts from being to doing, from living to striving. But what if we chose presence over pressure? What if we decided to act as if nothing bothers us, not as a means of avoidance, but as a commitment to remaining grounded, fully present, and unshaken by external demands? Presence is a profound and often underrated state. It is the ability to be here now, to engage with life as it unfolds, rather than being trapped in the worries of the future or the regrets of the past. When we choose presence over pressure, we free ourselves from the need to meet every expectation or control every outcome. Instead, we find a calm center within ourselves that allows us to act with clarity and intention. Pressure often arises from a fear of inadequacy or failure. It is the voice that tells us we must do more, be more, or achieve more to prove our worth. This voice, though persistent, is an illusion. Our value is not determined by how much we accomplish, but by the depth and authenticity with which we live. Presence teaches us this truth. It reminds us that life's richness lies not in the quantity of our efforts, but in the quality of our experience.